Really? Seriously? I can't believe this. Oh, now y'all want to stop attacking after the tombstone drops. 1 archer, 11 bosses. Can I take out these bosses as an underleveled archer? Let's see if it's possible. I'm at level 56, almost 57. I want to get to the same level as Timer, which is level 58, before we start brawling with bosses. It'll be a quick cut for you. Before that, I also want to mention I'm looking for Glove for Attack Scrolls for a small power boost as well. I couldn't find any scrolls while I was here. That's fine though. It's time for the main event. The overall goal of this series is to take out all the area bosses in Maple at the lowest level and HP possible. Here are all the bosses I've taken out so far with the level and HP I did the boss at. As you probably already know, the Archer class is very notorious for having low HP. I want to see if this is possible to do and what it takes to do it. To make things a little more interesting, I'm going to run a boss gauntlet up until I get wrecked and sent packing. Let's take a look at the gauntlet, shall we? We need to know where it starts and where it ends. These bosses are between level 58 and level 65, and I plan on running the entire gauntlet. From Timer all the way to Zombie Mushmom. There are 11 bosses in total here. Since they're all close in level, I decided to run them back to back. I'm going to try and do this in less than 5 deaths. I know, a gauntlet is usually 1 life and not 5. It would be awkward if I made this a 1 life gauntlet and then Timer slaps my archer upside his head, and then that's the end of the gauntlet right there after just 1 boss. I don't know how much damage Timer does, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen. If we get clapped, then, well, that's why we got 5 lives. With all of that explaining out of the way, let's head over to our first challenge. Timer and Ludi. This should be an easy boss though because I'm the exact same level as Timer. I don't expect Timer to hit that hard, but we'll see. There's certain bosses that when I think about them or I see them, I'm like, this boss will smack you upside the head if you look at them the wrong way. And Timer is not one of them. At least from what I remember. Timer is located in the clock tower, somewhere down there. Just not the deep part, like right before that part. I ran into the first problem already. It's about 2 hours later for me, and I found out that the database I'm using to find all this information on the bosses had the wrong information for Timer. You can see by my experience bar how long I was here for. Each monster here gives 198 experience. I even did a few rounds of channel surfing too while I was here. Apparently he's on the Path of Time 3 map, and that's not listed anywhere on this database that I'm using. Okay, we finally found him after moving spots. It's go time. Ouch. Ladder hit. I see we aren't playing fair today, alright. I should have known something was up after being at that last spot for that long. No timer spawning and it's been 2 hours? How do you go from 0% to 30% experience looking for a boss to spawn on such a short timer? The only reason why I didn't start doubting the location sooner is because I still needed Gloves for Attack 60% scrolls. I got 0 scrolls, of course. I took out like 1,600 or so platoons. Anyways, Timer. It looks like this might be the point where bosses are back to hitting 800 damage and higher moving forward. This is already looking like it's gonna be a problem with the rest of the bosses in this gauntlet. How exactly will my archer survive what's to come? Timer does a little bit over half my archer's health, but also not worth going out of my way to dodge these attacks. There's no danger here of getting one shot. Yet. I thought these chronos were gonna be annoying and get in the way similar to the other bosses that I've taken out, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. That might be because they go down fairly easily. Doing this right after King Kleng is such an easy feat. It's not even moving around, which is fairly odd to me actually. Usually a boss just can't help itself but move around and start walking around, especially towards me. Not too bad. That took around 7 minutes or so. I've yet to see a boss drop anything besides Meso. The first boss, down, 10 more to go. That wasn't a challenge at all. The boss coming up might be a different story. Next boss is Master Dummy, which isn't located in Ludi, so we gotta take another boat. I don't know where this boss is from. This is another area boss that I just never saw in GMS. I don't know what version or region of MapleStory Master Dummy is from, so I don't really know what to expect here. It should be interesting though. Plus I heard that he's hunted quite often. Not sure how true it is, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully there's one already here. Okay, not here. That's fine. Change channels. We got him, folks. We got him. While changing channels to look for him, I saw a good amount of people that are also looking for him as well. I got hit for like 1,000 damage and now I'm like, okay, yikes. But this is doable. This is definitely doable. However, I saw that my damage looked kinda low. I hit an 11 and I hit a 3. Oh boy. Once I saw how low my damage was, I started thinking, this boss started at 640,000 HP. 11s and 3s on a boss with 640,000 health points? This is gonna be a long fight. However, that ended up not being the case. 2,300 damage? Are you kidding me? I just know the guy up there is laughing at me. I don't think that log is dodgeable. Maybe there's another way to dodge it that I just haven't thought of, but as of right now, I don't think it's dodgeable. I have to think more about it. I've tried ducking under a projectile and still got hit once earlier. He missed the first time when he tried to hit me with that log. See, this is exactly what I was talking about when I said my HP is looking like it's gonna become a problem soon. The Gauntlet is already cooked. I only got to the second boss before getting absolutely smoked. That boss just has to be an outlier in this Gauntlet. The next boss is Mushmom, and I bet you she's not gonna hit me for that much damage. There is zero chance Mushmom is gonna hit for anything over 2,000 damage. I can guarantee that. I'm just gonna go ahead and cross out Master Dummy on this Gauntlet real quick. I didn't make this graphic just for it to go in the trash after one fight. I'm kinda glad I had that backup plan of 5 lives in case something like this happened. I'm just doing all of this by trial and error. I haven't done that much research on these bosses before the fight. I haven't felt the need to do so yet. I just had a feeling that an early boss in this Gauntlet was gonna do something and be on some BS. And of course it happens. Of course. We have 4 remaining lives left. There is no amount of training and leveling that's gonna take me from 1,600 HP to 2,400 HP. At that point, I'll be all the way past the level of all the other bosses in this Gauntlet, so there's no point in doing that. If the fight ends up being not feasible as of right now, I'm just gonna push it off to later levels. If Master Dummy hit me for, let's say, 1,700 HP, I'd be like, oh, okay, 3 or 4 more levels and I could just get a little bit more HP and I got this fight in the bag. But 2,300? You're joking. I'm gonna revisit this boss later because we have to beat it at some point. Just not today. Next up is Mushmom in Victoria Island. Ship time. This is a very nostalgic boss for a lot of people that play Old School MapleStory. It was so hard finding Mushmom back in the day because everyone was hunting her for Ilby throwing stars. On top of that, in general, she's just really annoying to get to. Every time you change channels, the game kicked you back all the way to town. It was just a hassle to hunt down. I've only done Mushmom a few times in GMS. She's not here. What a shocker. I'll get back to you when I find one. Alright, found a Mushmom. Super fast, I might add. This getting tossed up in the air thing got old real quick. She's dribbling me like a basketball. This isn't too bad. I told y'all Mushmom wouldn't be a one-shot. The 40 seconds, I hung in there. And unfortunately, I forgot to use an additional potion after using the Unagi. She hits for 1,100 damage, and the Unagi heals for 1,000 damage. And the rest is history. If this isn't the consequences of my own actions. What an absolute waste of limited lives. 3 more lives with 8 more bosses left. Let me do this walk of shame back. After that situation, I learned my lesson and it was basically smooth sailing at that point. Getting tossed in the air is making this much slower than it needed to be. I know archers can't jump and shoot. Every time I'm in the air, my Crossbowman stops attacking. But I'm wondering, if I was a class that can jump and attack in the air like a gunslinger or an assassin, would Mushmom tossing somebody up in the air stop them from attacking? Curious to know. I think tanking her touch damage might be better for dealing consistent damage. This is how you can tell I play mostly melee classes. I'm trying to tank body damage as an archer. This boss must have low defenses because there's no significant drop in my damage. Usually for a boss, there will be a dip in my damage output. And Mushmom is down. 1,100 damage. I think the next boss is topping 1,200 damage easily. I can't afford that with the 3 lives I have left. The giant Bellflower root is our next challenger. I feel like I remember doing this boss, but I'm not entirely sure. I did so many pirate PQs back in the day and I was in this area so often that it all just feels like a blur. I'm genuinely surprised this is actually here. Okay, this boss isn't hitting that hard. Just kidding. We are in fact not good. Putting this boss on the middle platform is just downright sinister. I keep getting tossed off the side. This is a horrible experience. And this boss keeps spamming this same move too. I got this boss to around 100,000 health points and it started healing itself. What type of nonsense is this? This is just plain evil. I thought I was going to be stuck around the 90 to 100,000 HP mark. This boss is healing more than the damage I'm dealing, but I eventually got it down. I'm so glad that's over with. Holy. You'll never ever catch me here again. This is the first and last time I'm ever doing this boss. Yeah, I definitely don't remember doing this boss in the past. Unless like they changed the mechanics for it, I'd never fought this before. That almost took an hour to do. Disgusting. No wonder why I didn't have to surf the channels to find one. I bet you there's a Bellflower root in each channel. This boss probably isn't bad for a 4th job attacker, but for me, right now, that goes into my top 2 worst experiences on this game and it's not number 2. Next up, Scholar Ghost. This ghost is in Korean Folktown. You have to do a quest to be able to access the map the boss is on, and the quest is from the tree cutter. He asked you to take out 300 Hudoris because apparently it's too dangerous to go out there, or whatever that means. After that, you're able to go into the Fox Ridge map. This is where Scholar Ghost is located. The ghost isn't in this channel, so time to surf. I couldn't find him. It seems like this is another boss that's farmed often. I'm going to use this opportunity for a quick intermission. I'm near Aqua Road and I still need crossbow 60%. I'll get back to you when I get more scrolls, or if something interesting happens like leveling while training. With how the drop rates are looking, I may level once or twice. I better not. If I get to level 60 before I get all 7 scrolls, I'm gonna stop. Hopefully I get 7 scrolls so I can finally scroll something. Okay, around 5,000 mobs later, I leveled. I got 2 crossbow attack 60% scrolls, and 1 overall dex for armor 60% scroll. And a new 4 dex top. Not bad, I guess. I also leveled to 59 because I was here for so long, which gave me an additional 22 HP. I'm not staying here till level 60 though. The drop rate wasn't high enough to justify me staying here. Each fish gave like 0.01% EXP, so that would be like 10,000 fish that I have to take out to level. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go back to Scholar Ghost. Let's see if he's there this time around. This boss is missing a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Well, I almost had him. That was like what? 1,800 damage or so? We're kinda close. Kinda. Each level gives about 20 HP, so that's around 8 or so levels to get to 1,800 HP. Yeah, that's pushing it, not gonna lie. That's pushing it. At that point, I'd be higher than all the bosses in this gauntlet at level 67. I did some research here while editing this, and I found out that one of his attacks for Scholar Ghost actually hits for 2,400 damage. So that boss went easy on me, believe it or not. And for that, he's going in the exact same category as Master Dummy, aka do it later when I have a better strategy. Let me go ahead and remove this ghost real quick and just cross it out like so. This is what happens when you set up a challenge run like this gauntlet on the fly without really doing any testing of the bosses. Now I'm down to 2 lives for the rest of this challenge. It's not looking good. I have to move very carefully now. I was doing that before, but now it's serious. This is barely the halfway point of this gauntlet, and I found ways to waste 3 out of the 5 lives. Great. On to the next one. This one is personal. I've been waiting for this boss to show up. We all know who this boss is. It needs no introduction. Alright, where is this flask? Come outside, we not gonna jump you? I'm here to finish what you started. Since you want to attack lower level players, let's go. Hold on. I'm gonna look for this boss real quick. It's not here. We got him. Come on, cuh. Come on. I hyped this fight up just to get stomped out. 2,800 damage? That's what we're doing? Last time I got hit for like 1,000 damage and some change. Now this boss wants to pull out some new stuff? Why are you acting different when the cameras are rolling? Making me look bad. You wanna know what's crazy? I had a feeling this fight was gonna go terribly. I came in a little too hype, ready for revenge. This gauntlet might be cooked. I'm at 1 life left. Who is next on this gauntlet anyways? Snow Witch? Yeah, it's over. Good game. I never fought this boss before, but I just know she's gonna put my Crossbowman in a coffin. Let me go over to El Nath and take a peek. Maybe she won't hit as hard? Maybe? That's the hope you and I need to have going into this. That's all we have left. Okay, we're in El Nath. You gotta go a few portals over to the right to find this boss. She's not here, and this might be a sign telling me to turn around. Once I saw Snow Witch and I saw where she spawned in, I knew this fight was over before it started. She was food. What a lovely placement. For me. Easiest boss fight yet. Easier than Timer. Whoa! That tornado threw me for a loop though when it hit me. I'ma jump to the end because it's just me standing far away as possible, sending arrows her way. Nice. That was chill. This is going against my better judgment to fight this next boss, but we're here for entertainment, so let's go. Plus, maybe this boss doesn't hit as hard or can't hit me altogether. Who knows? The next boss is Riche. It's in El Nath, so that's perfect for me. I don't have to go that far to lose. I mean, I don't have to go that far. I don't know what map he's on though, I just know he's in El Nath. I'm gonna look it up and cut to the part where I find out what map he's on, which will be like 1 second for you. So he's in the Forest of Dead Trees. That is so far. That doesn't matter, let's go. Why are some of these monsters hitting like they're bosses? This was a bad sign. These maps are gloomy. The mobs are hitting for almost all the health points I have. All the perfect ingredients for a disaster. Okay, he's not here. 1 second. Let me look for the boss. I'm on the wrong map. It's Forest of Dead Trees 4 and not 1. Whoops. My bad. Now let's channel surf. Why is this man camping the rope? Move over, man, move. Well, this is it. It's do or die. Well, that was expected. GG no Ri. That's it for me. The Snow Witch was a fluke, I'm calling it here. If we're being honest, this gauntlet was a failure of epic proportions. That might be a tad bit dramatic, but I wasn't ready for prime time. The lights were too bright. I think it's safe to assume that all the bosses in the rest of this gauntlet will one-shot me at this current point. I can't wait to revisit these bosses that I lost to or I haven't done yet. Revenge tour coming soon. Well, time to get some levels in. I need more HP and I need it fast. Let's check out a new party quest that I can do. It's back in Herbtown. It's a hidden street at the top of the map called the Old Swamp. This portal is near the wooden structure at the top left. I want to take a second and shout out Hockey for letting me join this party when he didn't have to. I appreciate you, fam. This is Pirate PQ, or what I like to call Run Right Party Quest. That's basically all you do. Run to the right, take out mobs, get to the last room, take out boss, boom, done. Rinse and repeat. The first stage, you clear out all the mobs on the map. The second stage, you clear out all the mobs and then your party has to collect marks of the pirate. 20 of each color. The third and fourth stage are just like the first. run right, and clear mobs. Stage 5, once again you take out the mobs. However, this time the monsters will drop a skeleton key that you use to lock the door that they're spawning from. You need 4 keys in total. After that, it's the boss fight. I'm mainly here for the hat. There are different tiers of this hat. You get hat pieces after each PQ, and each hat has a specific number of pieces required to make each hat. On my first run, I didn't get any pieces because I messed up. I didn't select the right option on the final NPC when I was exiting. So what you're seeing isn't my full first run because I want you to see a proper full run. It's a mashup of runs in case you notice different party members. But the PQ basically runs the same. Okay, so after 12 runs, I finally got enough for the first tier of pirate hat, the level 60 hat. The stats are good. Now I don't need to switch between the red and dark distinction because this pirate hat has the best of both worlds, HP and stats. No more pirate PQ for now, we got what we needed. Plus, at this level, I wasn't really contributing much to the run because I wasn't clearing out the monsters fast enough anyways. Now, since we're level 60, there is a quest available to us in the Korean folk town. Our first endgame item, the Goblin Cape. Time to head over to KFT. The quest is called Preparing to Eliminate Goblins at the NPC Chumji. You need to have 1 rice wine, 1 buckwheat paste, 1 roasted pork. I didn't do a portion of the questline yet, so you'll see me doing it on screen. The quests are Kongji's request and brotherly love. But to be able to do Kongji's request, you need to get a new pot. You can get a new pot from Grandma Yeon. And to get this pot from her, you need to do a quest that starts an Aqua Road from the NPC Tae Gong. You need to collect 20 shrimp meat. Tae Gong wants to give his wife some shrimp as a surprise gift because she's a big fan of shrimp. Once you deliver the shrimp, she will let you know that she makes pots for people in town. She mentions that she can hook us up for the free. Once you do that, you can get Kongji a pot. She needs a new one because her old one is cracked and her stepmom told her to fill up a pot of water. After getting a pot from Grandma Yeon and bringing it to Kongji, she will ask you for another favor. Her stepmom also wants Artemisia rice cakes. Sounds mad fancy. You need to harvest 12 Artemisia flowers and bring them back to her. Once you bring them back, she has yet another request. Her steel hoe is broken and she needs a new one. It snapped into 2 while plowing the field because her stepmother told her to do so. Apparently she'll get mad at Kongji if she doesn't get the job done. This is feeling awfully Cinderella-ish. I can't even lie to you. Now we need to find a steel hoe. Be prepared because it can take a while. Some people get the steel hoe for this quest in 2 minutes, and then other people get it in several hours. Between 2 minutes and several hours, guess which group I was a part of. Don't worry, I'll wait. I wasn't counting the hours, but I'd say it took me a few. I got it finally after looting 1,231 brooms. Give her the steel hoe and now you're done with her part of the quest line. I did the brotherly love questline a few episodes ago, but that quest is fairly simple. You just run back and forth between the 2 brothers and talk to them. They're on the opposite ends of town. Once you do these quests, you're able to get access to the quest where you can get the 3 items that you need for the final Goblin quest. Once you have some rice wine, buckwheat paste, and roast pork, you go back to Chumji with the items in your inventory. He will tell you to go to the haunted house map in KFT. It's on the same map that you hunted for the steel hoe. At the very top right, there's a hidden portal. Once you get to the haunted house, you drop each item in their respective locations, based on what Chumji said. You can also just see where I'm dropping them on screen. I low-key wasn't sure which tree to drop the buckwheat paste at since there's several trees that had holes in them. It's the furthest one to the left in case you're wondering. Each goblin will drop an item, the cap, the cape, and the bat. These will be one of the rewards you get to choose from at the end of the quest line. We're here for the cape. These bosses are very tanky. Or maybe my damage is just that bad. It's probably my damage. Alright, now we got the cape. It's level 65 and clean, it gives 5 strength. I'll be scrolling it in the future if I can get strength scrolls for it. Knowing how things have been going, that might be 40 levels from now. Who knows? Back to grinding to get more levels and more HP for the upcoming bosses. So I noticed that the bosses I lost to have 2 kind of hits. They have a light jab which was hitting for like 1700 damage to 1800 damage. Some even lower than that, but they all had a heavy punch that hit for like over 2300 damage. I'm not sure if every boss on the Gauntlet operates that way because Mushmom and Timer didn't. They had their one hit which was 800 and 1100 damage, so I think I'm going to level to the point where I have just enough HP to tank the light jabs, so around 1800 HP or so. Once I get that, I'll attempt some bosses that I haven't tried yet to see which ones are possible at 1800 HP. The ones that hit over 2000 damage with their light jab, yeah, that's getting pushed down the line, like I mentioned earlier. Level 66. I'm at 1819 HP. I think that's enough. We'll see. I wanted to at least attempt most, if not all, the bosses I had on my initial Gauntlet graphic. With that being said, next boss, Dyle time. Dyle was supposed to be the next boss on the Gauntlet, but y'all know how that Gauntlet went. I had to stop because it was getting pretty ugly. Let's see how much Dyle hits for. I may be able to sneak by this boss with the HP I have. I gotta change channels. So I found a Dyle, but it's sitting right on the portal, so it took me out. Whoops. Once again, this is why you don't walk around with the HP at less than 100%. I walked back and I rushed because I saw someone else taking out another Dyle in a different channel. And of course, they showed up. I'll just show you the rest of this interaction. It's a KS but not a KS because I didn't type out CC or change channels to them. So actually, I found out that field bosses are not subject to KS rules. Never knew that. I'ma still refer to it as KSing to keep it simple, since that's the only way I know how to describe it, but it's not actually KSing, just for future reference, if you know what I mean. It wasn't worth typing change channels because they came in throwing stars ablazing. Once they hit Dyle, this boss was basically void to me. I want to solo these bosses. After it went down, I went to a new channel and once again they pulled up, but this time they didn't attack immediately. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, an audience this time, I guess. This time they typed something though, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying. I wish there was a way to type in game and have it automatically translate, so I could be like, yo, chill out real quick. Let me have this one. I realized much later now that I'm pretty sure this person was asking me something along the lines of, can I get 20% to get credit? I think. I'm solely basing this off of the fact that I see the number 20 in the chat bubble. I found out that you need to deal 20% of damage to the boss HP to get credit for taking out a boss and getting drops. If that's not what they're saying, then completely disregard what I'm saying right now. This is all speculation. Back to the video. Guess what though? That's not the end of it. A second person pulled up and said F all that and started throwing stars. So now I'm like, well, This Dyle is void too. Like, what are we doing here? There's no point in saying CC, please. Both of these people sold me so bad. It's crazy. I was trying to type to them and it got me clapped by Dyle. Now y'all don't want to attack anymore? That's crazy. I'm not gonna bother looking for another Dyle right now. I'll just come back at another time when it's less active out here. But for you, it'll be a quick cut to the next Dyle I find. I came back like 40 minutes later and would you look at that? Another Dyle. I really hope no one shows up here. This better not turn into part 2 of the KS Wars. Well, that wasn't a war. I had no shot in out-muscling them because I'm a level 66 Crossbowman. Not like this. This boss is at 34%. Y'all better not. When I tell you I started having flashbacks when I saw the 2 red dots appear on my minimap, I thought those Night Lords were back for round 3. I thought I was cooked. I immediately typed in yo chill when they started inching closer. I wasn't playing around this time. This boss is basically almost done. If y'all touch this boss now, I'm gonna be super annoyed. They came over and typed in LMAO and dipped. I'm so glad one of them didn't accidentally on purpose attack the boss, because that would have invalidated the entire boss for me. Around 27 HP left, the difficulty ramped up. Dyle started hitting harder and more often. I keep getting thrown around like a yo-yo. No foolishness will be happening this time around, thankfully. Down goes the Dyle. Glad that's over with. I'm so glad. Quick side note, I ended up seeing the people that I saw in the swamp, the ones that left me alone with Dyle, and I decided to click them to see what class and what level they were. And now I see why they said LMAO. Shout out to these two because I had a good laugh after clicking them. Those 2 Night Lords from earlier had me so shook to the point that I'm saying CC please to level 19 magicians. That's funny. Let's talk about the next boss. Since I'm already here in Victoria Island, I'm going to skip over Xeno and focus on Zombie Mushmom. Zombie Mushmom's timer is a few hours long, so it's better to get this out of the way sooner rather than later, since she's located in Sleepywood here in Victoria Island. Let's head down there. This is another boss that's highly contested. I'm not looking forward to this after that whole Dyle experience. Let's hope there's not that much action going on down there, and the boss is actually there. If not, we might have to play the waiting game once again. Okay, the boss isn't here. I'll be back when I find one. And of course, I get KS'd again. I'm not surprised someone came down here after that whole Dyle situation. Of course this happens. I kinda expected someone to show up here. I tried saying CC, maybe they'll leave. They didn't. Maybe I should have said please. Who knows if that would have worked. Let me find a new one. Okay, I found another one, like clockwork. Let's just hope no one else shows up and ruins this. That would be super unfortunate if that happened again. This is another boss that I never fought in GMS. I was never able to find it. This fight is basically the Mushmom fight. She's hitting me for around the same amount of damage as Mushmom, but she's not tossing me around like Mushmom did. So this makes the fight much quicker and easier for me. That's until Zombie Mushmom's HP dropped below 31%. Zombie Mushmom got a power-up boost and said I'm about to end this man's whole career. But she's not a rapper though. Boom, bam, bop, pow. And that's all she wrote, folks. 2,043 damage. One shot. After seeing that, I'm not even mad I got KS in the last channel. I'm not even mad at it. Let me just act like I was never here to begin with. I know the title said 11 bosses, but it's getting ugly. It's possible. Taking these bosses out as an archer with low HP, I just don't have the HP for these remaining bosses. Yet. Tune in next time to see me rematch some of the bosses I lost to. If you like this episode, don't forget to like this video to support this channel. Thank you for watching, and do me a favor and have a good day for me.